Hi, Lisette.
Hi, Faisali.
How are you today?
Fine, and you?
Fine, thank you.
Good. Faisali, I want to ask you something.
Go on.
Well, what did you did last weekend? No, what did you do last weekend? Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Let's introduce ourselves. My name is Faisuli Garzon.
And my name is Lizeth Contreras.
The previous conversation represented the topic that we pretend to cover today, which is the monitor hypothesis by the linguistic Stephen Krashen.
Well, before starting, let us to introduce you the main points that we are going to cover during this oral presentation. The first one is the introduction, which consists of giving you the inference of Stephen Krashen in his hypothesis. Secondly, we are going to cover the differences between acquisition and learning in order to better understand this topic. Thirdly, the definition of monitor hypothesis, then two conditions that this process requires, and then three kinds of monitor users, and finally a short reflection about this hypothesis.
Well, who is Stephen Krashen? He is an expert in the field of linguistics. Furthermore, one of his major works is the six hypotheses of second language acquisition. But why? Why is it important? Well, it was created in order to better understand the challenges that students have to face when learning a second language.
Well, before addressing what the monitor hypothesis means, let me first explain to you basic concepts that will be useful for you to understand this topic or this hypothesis. Well, the first key concept is acquisition, commonly known as acquired system. And this is the product of a subconscious process in which the learners are not concentrated in the form of the utterance, but in the act of communication. On the other hand, we have learning, commonly known as learn system, and this is the product of a conscious process which results in a conscious knowledge about the language.
So, what is the monitor hypothesis? Um, it explains the relationship between acquisition and learning. Furthermore, it defines the influence of the latter on the former. In different terms, um, it refers to not only to the use of acquisition and learning, but also it describes how or even why learning can influence the acquisition of a second language. Um, on the other hand, acquisition system make reference to the indicator of an utterance, while learning is the monitor itself. So, as you saw in the beginning of this video, Lisette was trying to correct herself when formulating a question. It should be pointed out that one of the disadvantages of this hypothesis is that students see this as a barrier. So it obstacles the accuracy and also the fluency.
Of course, Faisuli. It was because I can sound fluently.
Mhm.
Well, now let's continue with the next. In order to carry out this hypothesis, learners should keep in mind two conditions. The first one is related to the time. and meaning that learners need time to think about the correct use of the utterance that they are going to say or that they are going to write in a composition. And moreover, we have knowledge. It is an important condition when monitoring because learners have to keep in mind the rules when they want to writing something or saying something in another presentation maybe.
Um, Three kinds of monitor users. So in the first place, we have the overusers. So it may reference to students that all the time are trying to monitor themselves. Secondly, underusers. So it is the opposite of the overusers. Um, but in this case, students have not acquired the enough amount of knowledge to express themselves. It could be writing or even speaking. And the optimal users are in the middle of overusers and underusers. Because in this case, learners use the monitor appropriately.
Well, now let's finish with a short reflection about this hypothesis course. And well, despite the fact that this monitor hypothesis can be seen by Krashen as a barrier, I think teachers should aim to produce only optimal users basically. Because this kind of monitor allows the avoid the interference of the communication. Yes, when, for example, when two people are doing a short or a long conversation as we are doing right now. Yes, and well, also this monitor helps to sound, as I said, fluently. Well, thank you so much. We hope you like this.
Thank you so much for your attention and see you on the next occasion.